Welcome to the Whole Child Sleep podcast, where we help families nurture dreams and raise wholeness. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Whole Child Sleep podcast. I am your host, Maya Hartzine, and today we are talking about a very commonly asked question, which is, how do I get my kid to sleep through the night? After struggling with this same issue, I discovered a key element, and that is safety. After mentioning safety, I know that word might make some of you roll your eyes or think, why wouldn't my kid feel safe? I respond to their every cry. Hear me out. I want to redefine safety for you in a way that reflects how the body interprets it. Safety is when the body can fully relax. A state of full relaxation for the body is called rest and digest. When our bodies are in rest and digest, the body can do just that, rest easily and digest easily. If you experience your child bouncing off the walls, fighting sleep, not relaxing easily, coming off as difficult, or if there are any disruptions in their digestion, for example, constipation, gassiness, or if they get sick often and easily, your child is not experiencing the state of rest and digest enough for them to experience sleep in a fully restorative way. They're not fully experiencing the physiological state of safety in the terms we explained here. It's also important to consider the state of survival alongside safety. So the opposite of the state of safety is a state of survival. This is where the role of cortisol, the primary stress hormone, becomes crucial. Cortisol plays a significant role in regulating our body's stress response. When cortisol levels remain consistently high due to stress or prolonged exposure to stressors, our nervous system tends to stay in a state of survival rather than moving toward safety and relaxation. So let's explore what can disrupt our child's sense of safety, ultimately affecting their sleep. And I'm drawing from my experience in resolving complex sleep cases over the past decade. Number one is internal schedule. We all have what's called a chronotype, our own natural internal schedule that determines our optimal sleep time and wakeful times. When we operate outside of our chronotype, our bodies compensate by increasing stress levels to keep us awake when we should be sleeping or resting. By helping families identify and align their child's internal schedule, we can reduce cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and promote a feeling of safety, leading to better sleep. Research from the National Center of Biotechnology Information emphasizes the importance of maintaining alignment with a child's internal schedule, highlighting the need to synchronize activities with a child's natural timetable to foster better sleep quality and duration as they grow and develop. This can ultimately help your baby sleep through the night. I've helped many families get their baby to sleep through the night doing just this one thing. Number two is digestive issues. Inflammation in the gut can cause an increase in stress hormones, including cortisol, disrupting the body's natural balance. This inflammation can also impact nutrient absorption, affecting essential micronutrients necessary for healthy sleep and health overall. By addressing digestive issues and reducing gut inflammation, we can provide a conducive internal environment for restful sleep. Insights from the Medical Science Journal underscore a critical connection between digestive wellness and sleep, emphasizing the need to address any potential disruptions in digestion to promote a more restful sleep experience. Thirdly is autonomy. Whether a child is bed sharing, or sleeping independently, it's important to create an environment that supports their comfort and safety. Allowing them to learn their own bodies and explore different ways of getting comfortable and settling themselves within a safe environment can promote positive relationship with sleep. The National Center for Biotechnology Information highlights the significance of nurturing a child's sense of autonomy in regulating their sleep patterns. Gentle sleep coaching approaches recognizes and respects the child's individuality and helps them develop lifelong skills for healthy sleep. Fourthly is uncertainty. Consistency and reliability in responding to a child's needs create a sense of trust and security. Findings from the National Center of Biotechnology Information emphasizes the role of ameliorating parental uncertainties to foster a more secure environment. So I want to say that this is the new approach. When you, as a parent, choose to understand and address the factors that influence a child's feeling of safety, shifts the focus away from fixing a sleep problem and towards creating an environment externally and internally where a child feels secure. By exploring these aspects, we open doors to holistic solutions that encompass both physiological and psychological well-being. Unlocking peaceful sleep for our children goes beyond implementing quick fixes or rigid sleep training methods. It requires embracing the concept of safety and balance in our lives. But also remember, every child is unique, and finding the right balance may require some patience and experimentation. I hope this was helpful, everyone. Please reach out with questions, and I will talk to you all next week. Thank you for listening to the Whole Child Sleep podcast. For references to articles discussed in this podcast or for evidence on the topics that we've discussed on this podcast, please look in the description below, or you can find the articles linked in our blog at curesleep.us. I want to give you an idea of what you can expect in terms of structure of this podcast moving forward. You can expect one podcast a week, and we will cover a topic for 2 weeks. The first week, you can expect the podcast to be more educational and informational. The following week will be more of a Q&A covering the same topic. If you have a question that you would like us to answer during the Q&A podcast, please send them in at 406-551-4083. And if you've found this podcast to be helpful, we ask that you share it. We would love to reach more tired families. We also ask that you subscribe and like and give us a 5-star review. This also helps us reach more tired families. We hope you have a beautiful day, and we will talk to you next week. By listening to this podcast, you understand and agree to the following. The content of this podcast offers the opinions of Meyer Hartzheim and her guests, and it is not intended as medical advice. It serves as an informational purpose. For personalized and medical concerns, consult your healthcare professional. The views and opinions in this podcast are our own and don't represent our employees or affiliates. The views of the guests in this podcast are their own and do not necessarily reflect that of Cure Sleep Group. Our podcast and website are not for legal purposes, such as establishing a standard of care or expert witness testimony. We don't guarantee the accuracy of statements or opinions. We appreciate your assistance in maintaining content accuracy. If you find errors in our podcast or blogs, please reach out via email to support@curesleep.us. This podcast is owned by Cure Sleep LLC and presented by the Whole Child Sleep podcast. Thank you for tuning in.